Awkward Mafia.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to another episode of Awkward Mafia Show. I'm Jesse.
I'm Frankie.
I'm Golden.
And today we're talking about Avengers Endgame. Yes, we've all seen it.
Actually, you want to know a fun fact? There are 2 Captain Goldens in my family. I'm not one of them.
Anyway, so we're going to talk about the movie. Do we want to give very quick, general, non-spoiler opinions for moving on? Or just jump straight into spoilers?
Yeah, there's spoiler.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I wonder what this is about. Yeah, you still should do it. We're going to be enraged. You shouldn't be.
I'll just say, see it if you're on the fence and are looking for non-spoiler opinions. See it.
Yeah, go watch it.
Spoiler.
But take
alert.
someone with you.
Spoiler
They're
alert.
guaranteed 4 times that you might cry.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I ever cried over cheeseburgers.
And with that, we're going to start spoilers now. If you're looking for not spoiler, you're in the wrong place. We're going to talk about spoilers. All right. Should we talk through it chronologically or just jump in whatever we want to talk about?
Biggest questions on your mind, I want to say.
Time travel questions, mostly.
Where's Loki?
They didn't bring him
Loki's
back because
dead.
he had died before.
But he did steal the Tesseract and just
So,
figured out
all right.
change.
I guess we'll start with time travel questions. So, when the time travel stuff started, they were all talking about movies as reference. Meaning if you go back in the past and change something, it'll affect the present.
Yes.
And Bruce Banner, or Professor Hulk, I don't know who he was going by at the time, because he named Banner and Hulk as if they were different people.
Yeah.
He was saying that's not how time travel works. That you can't change the... So the way I took it to him to describe it, which is my opinion of how time travel works, which is the past is part of the past. Anything you do back then won't change anything. But then when they actually go back, he meets the Ancient One, who explains that if you take a single stone out of their reality, you'll create branching realities. Meaning that normally when there are Infinity Stones, time travel works how nothing is always the same, nothing changes. But once you take a stone out or affect the stones, then you change history, but instead of affecting your time, it creates a separate universe. Am I right?
As long as you put it back.
That's the thing. So they put it back, but they made changes. So either they brought the stones back to an alternate reality, or when they brought the stones back, that undid all the changes they made.
It's true.
I don't know which is which.
Because one of the ones is like, okay, obviously Thor doesn't have the hammer anymore because they brought it back.
But he...
So Cap brought it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
He
is...
brought all the stones back. But yeah.
And the hammer, yes.
But does that mean Thanos is
Also-
alive again in that timeline? Because they killed him. And Nebula.
Is Thanos... Is that Gamora?
She didn't go back. She's still in this. She's still here.
But that's a different timeline. Gamora.
That timeline's Gamora is now in our present day reality.
So she never got sacrificed into this soul stone.
Yeah.
In that reality, possibly. That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Did they make all kinds of changes? Now that's a different universe. But then Captain America went back and put the stones back, so it course corrected. Like all that was undone.
So
It doesn't make sense for it to happen that way. I think what happened is when they took that stone, right? It did exactly as she said it would, where it created branching realities, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even though they put it back, there's still a branch reality.
Okay. So if that's true, that brings up the next big question I have, which is, how did old man Captain America wind up on that bench?
If that was that was one of the branching realities. Because
So he
never came back.
used the pin particles to come back just way later?
He just grew old.
Later-
He never came back.
He did come back. He was on that bench.
I think he came back. He grew old with
Yeah.
his wife, and
And
then he came back.
But I'm saying, did he just stay in the past and he just walked there, or did he have to travel through universes to get here because of the branching timeline?
That's what I'm. Well, no. He said he missed his mark because I think the pin particles still work as they
Yeah.
they make you larger.
They
So
use Dragon
as he-
Ball rules for time travel.
Well, yeah, but I think as he grew back to the regular size he's supposed to be, as he's flying out, landed on the bench instead of in that space where they're trying to bring him back. So this is to make more sense of this.
Okay.
I think he, in the past, decided to like live his life out with Peggy.
Right.
Grew old, and then he was like, okay, it's time I come back.
I mean, we know when she dies.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's time I come back. He shrinks himself to like be tethered back, but as he's coming out of the machine, he just kind of goes too far and ends up on the.
That's
bench.
possible. He could have just walked over. You know, he knew when they would be back.
Yeah, he could have shown up.
He could have been there even before old Cap, the original Cap left.
Yeah, he could have come back to this timeline a
That's
few years ago
true,
after
too.
Peggy died, maybe.
That's
Yeah.
true too.
So then we're all kind of agreeing that he's with Peggy. That whole life is in a different reality.
That's also possible, yeah.
Because if so, that means that would add credence to my other theory, which is as soon as he brought the stones back, that universe just went back to normal and became one with our universe again. Which would mean that he was always with Peggy, and that he changed his identity or something and pretended, because we never saw who she ended up marrying. We just see her mention him in documentaries.
And that he had kids. She had kids.
Yeah, she had kids, and that the guy she ended up marrying was actually saved by Captain America during World War II.
Okay.
Because she was talking about a mission he did, saving all these men, including one who would apparently, or coincidentally, become my husband one day.
Yeah.
And so it could be that was always Steve. They were just hiding it. Or that is our version of Peggy, and another version of Peggy got Cat back.
That's true. Okay, I know the show is over now, but did you ever watch Agent Carter? I watched a couple episodes. I had other reasons why I didn't keep watching it, but I didn't finish it. So they didn't.
2 or 3 seasons, I don't remember, but it ended like in 46 or 47. Yeah.
Okay, so
he might have gone back to the 70s though. I'm not sure because I don't know how he figured out the coordinates.
I think that would be better if you went back to the 70s.
But the car style of cars and the music doesn't match with that. I think he figured out how to get back to the 50s.
Okay.
But yeah. So are we good with the time travel stuff then?
Okay. Yeah, that's slightly off my mind.
Yeah.
That'll work.
All right. I mean, honestly, either way probably works. Either he merged the two timelines together when he brought the stones back and undid their changes, and he just became part of our history, or that's another universe. Either way doesn't really matter, I don't think. Except for Loki got away, and will they use that later?
Yeah.
Like for the Loki TV show they're making.
Well, if he stole the Trezarch and disappears, isn't the next, I guess, what makes the most sense for them to start on would be Young Avengers, right?
Young Avengers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
Miles
like
Morales.
yeah.
Oh, you mean the more recent ones?
They do mention him in.
Because I was thinking,
I
think the original Young Avengers, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with Loki.
No.
Well, yeah, no, but then you have young Loki, then you have like the Kree dude, and then you have
Miss Marvel.
and Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I was thinking Iron Lad, Patriot, Hulkling, and
No,
Asgard.
I'm thinking of the more new one. Yeah.
The founding Young Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I didn't read the new one, so I don't know. But I know Loki, teenage Loki was in it because he was reborn as a kid.
But because a year or two
Kid
ago
Kree,
I had
yeah.
heard that they were casting for Miss Marvel, not Captain Marvel, but Miss Marvel.
Oh, they're doing Miss Marvel?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Well, technically nothing's officially announced yet except for the new Spider-Man and Guardians 3 and I think Doctor Strange 2.
So they the other ones they were talking about, the Eternals and all that kind of stuff.
They have not been officially announced, but they are openly casting for those movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah. I believe there are 6 movies in the pipeline, which is Far From Home, which is coming out soon actually.
Yep.
Which allegedly takes place minutes after the end of Endgame, which Marvel's not happy that they said that because it kind of spoils some stuff. I imagine it's probably going to start with Peter and Ned hugging.
Yeah.
Probably and like recapping. Well, what happened to our friends? Who's older? Who's still the same age? a Black Widow movie is being worked on now.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
It's a prequel though.
Yeah.
So.
Still excited.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
Probably diving
they
into
didn't
the
hide
Black
that they were making a Black Widow movie before this would come out, so people would think, well, they're not going to kill her off because she's got a movie.
Yeah.
Ha! That's what you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spoiler!
Well, we said spoilers.
Yeah.
I know.
Eternals, which admittedly is a rare blind spot for me as far as Marvel goes. I never read Eternals comics. I know about them, but I don't know any of the characters.
Yeah. Which is cool that, I mean, because I just think Angelina Jolie is a great actress.
Is she... I know they're looking at her, but is she actually cast yet?
They're looking at her, which is...
I also heard Kamal Nanjiani's might be in that too.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, Guardians 3, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, Doctor Strange 2, Shang-Chi they actually officially announced, which I'm hyped for.
It's cool.
Shang-Chi is a martial artist. He doesn't have superpowers. He's just really good at martial arts.
Yeah.
And he's half white, half Chinese, though I think they're going to make him full Chinese in the movie. And the cast is going to be, like Black Panther, 95% Asian.
Yay!
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, thank you, crazy rich Asians, for proving that movies with predominantly Asian casts can sell well.
Yeah. I am okay. I am curious of two things that they still haven't touched on, which maybe in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 they're gonna touch on. Adam.
You're right. Yes. Adam Warlock.
Adam Warlock, and also
the guy who's supposed to kill Thanos.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were going for. Is, but also Mordo.
Baron Mordo?
Yes.
Or I guess in the movies he's just Mordo.
Yeah.
He never came back.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like maybe that's going to be a part of Doctor Strange too. Well, but they fixed all that.
Yes. Well, I'm saying that's why he hasn't been killing wizards in the 5 years.
That's true.
Without Doctor Strange, he could just go wild and do whatever.
What's the difference of timeline between Infinity War and Doctor Strange 2? Like, how long has
I don't know.
been Supreme Sorcerer?
They just said Doctor Strange 2 coming. No details. Just that they're making it. But yeah, so starting from now on, movies will be taking place, unless they're prequels, from 2023. That's when Spider-Man Homecoming is going to be set.
Oh.
Okay.
Because 5 years after 2018.
That's true.
Which means they can have several movies that take place around the same time and give us time to catch up.
Smart Marvel.
The timeline was always a little wobbly. Like, Iron Man came out in 2008, but it takes place in 2010.
Does it?
Yep, as of last year. It takes place in 2010. Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, and the first Thor movie take place in the same week in 2011.
Yeah, I heard
and
that.
Avengers is 2012. In between those three movies and Avengers is the future segments of the Captain America movie. And then Iron Man's like the Christmas following Avengers.
Yeah.
And so on and so on. And then from that point on, with a couple exceptions, all the movies take place when they were around the time they were released. But Guardians 2 takes place in 2014, 6 months after the first one.
Is it 6 months after or 2 years?
Guardians, it's like 6 months later.
Okay.
It's like Groot's still a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. They mentioned like they did that 6 months ago or something. And then what was it? Civil War and Doctor Strange takes place over the course of a year. I think it takes place in the year in between Civil War and Spider-Man. No.
Did they mention
Spider-Man takes place 2 months after Civil War, and Black Panther takes place a week after Civil War.
But they do talk about, or I think we talked about this before, where Doctor Strange, before he, breaks everything, he's in the car riding. He's like, oh, we have like he's like looking for new patients.
Yeah, Air Force Colonel who's
Colonel.
damaged in experimental armor. Marvel's confirmed that is not War Machine.
That is not. Why would you say something?
I know. Maybe it was intended to be, and they changed their mind.
That's another thing. That's like the MJ thing.
Yeah,
Or-
like why pick a different name? Stick with Michelle. Like,
exactly.
Why you gotta?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we got this new original character named Shmen Schmacy. Like, we know, just make it the character or don't. Like,
Yeah.
don't do this weird middle ground
Yeah.
thing.
Easter eggs are cool only if they're like kind of like a bridge to something. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's just this
'Cause I was
Easter
like-
egg is full of poop.
Like, if she's MJ, give her red hair. Like, I'm cool if she like this version of MJ wants to be an artist and she picks the name Mary Jane as like her artist name.
Yeah.
And she dyes her hair red at some point. Because I've seen her with the actress with red hair. She looks good. Just do that. Anyway.
Yeah, it's
Because I was like, oh, they're doing Liz Allen. Like, we haven't really done that in the movies. Cool. And then it wasn't Liz Allen. It was Liz Toombs.
yeah.
I'm like, well, maybe she'll go into witness protection and they'll change her last name to Allen. Like, I just wanted to make it into Spider-Man. Like, dude, this is Spider-Man.
That's fine. Do you think the Miles Morales Easter egg? Sorry,
We're way off topic.
But the Miles Morales Easter egg in Spider-Man has any validation, or they're just like, nah, we just.
Well, it's 5 years later, so
Yeah. He could be
Miles
50.
could have become something since then.
Spider-Man.
Probably
gone.
not.
It is a perfect time that Spider-Man gone for 5 years.
Yeah,
There's
like
no
Spider-Man's
Spider-Man.
dead. I also have Spider-Man powers. I will take up the mantle. That's how Miles' origin story should go. That's how it did go in the animated movie, which was great. They got rid of that in the comics, which I thought was stupid. Because they didn't want to kill Spider-Man in their main universe. They wanted Miles in the main universe, but they didn't want to kill Spider-Man, so they just gave him a crappier origin story. I'm like,
Marvel with your timeline changes.
It's confusing everybody.
Yes,
Please
but
stop.
I want to talk about something. One thing that I was upset with the movie.
okay.
I don't like Fat Thor. Like, I mean, I like his whole storyline. It was just strange seeing a fat Thor throughout the whole movie. That was just odd to me.
I love when he finally gets ready to battle. Suddenly his beard is braided, and I'm like, wait.
I mean, yeah, he's Thor, so he gets braided.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, he has both hammers. When he transforms, he's going to be thin again. Nope, he's still
No,
fat.
he's fat.
I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, all right.
What, the lightning
Like,
can't burn off some
I
fat?
do. I do like his mom's like, "What are you wearing?" This is my favorite shirt.
The last thing she says is eat a salad.
Yeah.
Your mom's last words to you.
Eat
Eat a salad.
I liked Fat Thor. I don't know what there's some terminology. I imagine thick is somehow being used.
Yeah.
No.
Thickor. Thork.
Like chunk.
Dad bod Thor. Something.
He's a little past bad. Dad
Oh
bod.
yeah, a little bit.
A little?
He's got flubs.
I liked it because
Dad bod.
it made sense for the character. Somewhere along the way, they realized that Chris Hemsworth's really funny. They gave him like the stoic, serious Shakespearean character, but like, oh no, you're funny.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. All right, we'll make Thor funny now. And it's like, good. He was always he was a fish out of water funny. But
Yeah.
Ragnarok, he was no longer like out of water.
Yeah.
He was just a funny, silly guy.
Yeah.
And I liked that version of Thor. And it makes sense that after everything that he lost, everything that happened to him, he would become that.
They really did a good job of blending sad and funny at the same time.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel bad for you, but you're making me laugh. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, it's funny that how he is, but the reason why he's the way he
Yeah,
is serious.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a very BoJack Horseman, where they have a funny
Oh, yeah.
joke set up, and then later on they re-explore what the joke was, and they go, it's actually not that funny.
Yeah.
the meaning behind this joke is like, oh, that's dark. So I did like that aspect too. I love that Korg.
Oh, yeah, he's
Korg
just there.
and Meek were back. We're
Just-
they live with
just
Thor.
chilling.
They just play Fortnite all day.
I
And
also love that he like yells at cyberbullies. Like,
Thor, he's back again.
he's-
Like, clear.
Noob master.
Listen here, new master. I'll find who you are, and I will shoot you full of lightning. Yeah, go cry to your dad. If he bothers you again, let me know. Thank you, Thor, I will. So he did the shirt. He was wearing like a pineapple shirt that's all ripped over the rocks.
Oh, yeah.
That's a real shirt Taika Waititi, the director and actor who plays Korg wears. So it's just funny to see him wearing that shirt. I'm like, oh,
Also,
pineapple shirt.
Also, it's kind of like funny. Like former gladiators are playing a battle royale game. Like,
That's true, dude.
yeah.
And they're upset about like
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to handle the bullying.
Yeah.
Korg's such a sweet guy. Makes sense. And he came back in the big battle at the end. Korg, I saw him there.
He was? Oh, I missed that. I gotta go see it again.
Yeah, I guess I should mention real quick. When I got tickets to see Endgame, I got great seat, like right in the middle of the theater.
Oh, the perfect seats.
The perfect seat, and I was like, oh man, this is great. And then an hour into the movie, right when we see what Nebula was doing in the past in 2014, the screen went black. There's flashing white lights and a voice saying, "A fire has been detected in the building. Please use the stairwells to exit. Do not use the elevator." And I was like, and the whole audience was like, "No,
Let us burn.
we reject this reality. We are not moving. What is happening?"
Just play the movie. We'll burn in here. It's okay.
And eventually we got up and left, and then we had all the exits are like outside, so we had to walk out, go all the way around, back to the front. And I while I was walking, I heard someone say, "This is the third time today
Are you fucking serious?
the alarms went off." And then after 20 minutes of waiting, manager was just like, "Yeah, we're closed. We can't. The alarms keep going off. So come back in a couple days in the next few days to get your refund. Sorry." So I immediately found the next ticket I could, and this seat was not perfect. It was ground floor, front row, most right, in 3D. So I was like this, and I couldn't really see what was happening in the top left corner because it was just like out of focus. Yeah, not ideal, but at least I saw it wasn't spoiled. I was so scared. I'm like, no, because I thought I had it in the theater. Waiting for me was like, I can't get spoiled now. I'm here at the theater watching it. Nothing can go wrong. And then there was a 2 hours wait between I could see the movie again. And I thought, no, I'm gonna get spoiled in this 2 hour window. I know it. So I can't look at my phone. I can't do anything. Yeah, but I saw it. I don't know if I saw everything, but I saw it. Because when Thor decapitates Thanos, blood splatters on Nebula's face, and she wipes it, I could not see the blood the second time I saw that scene. As I was looking up, and it just looked like she wiped her face. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm missing details already. But no, overall, I liked it. Good movie. It did not feel like it was 3 hours. It felt shorter.
I know, for me it did. I had to pee. Like halfway through, I was just like, damn.
But at the same time where it didn't feel like a 3 hour movie, I could feel the 3 hours in when they would just let scenes go.
Yeah, some scenes they really should have cut short.
They milked the hell out of her emotions at some points.
Yeah, there's a lot of like sad scenes where they're just all face like that. But then there's also scenes where they go on way too long saying that Star-Lord is the captain. Like, no, yes, you're the captain.
Of course.
Yes. Of course. And then the scene keeps going. And more people get involved, like, oh, knife fight. They're like, no, we're not doing that. It's obvious who the captain is.
Yeah, that was a bit
Me,
of
I'm the captain. Yes!
Yeah.
They took their time with the drama and the comedy in scenes. They just let it stretched it out, and I think I love that. Okay, but let's go back a little bit and talk about specific moments, like the opening, where Hawkeye's family gets snapped.
That fucked me up. I felt so sad. I'm like,
So,
oh,
I was like,
shit.
this is the beginning of Infinity War all over again.
So I saw this coming back in Age of Ultron, because when you see Hawkeye's family, you know, oh no, they're all gonna die. Because they all die.
He has something good in his life. Oh no.
Well, so in the main comic universe, Hawkeye doesn't really have a family. He married a Mockingbird, but they got divorced. You know, he dates randomly. Like, he doesn't have a family. But in the Ultimate Universe, he had a wife and he had kids exactly like in Age of Ultron. And they all get murdered by, like, aliens, I think.
Oh.
And then he goes on a murderous vigilante spree. He starts using guns, and he has, like, a bullseye on his forehead. Yeah. And so as soon as you see the family, you're like, oh, they're playing from the Ultimate Universe. Oh, he has a family like in the Ultimate Universe where they all die. They're going to die. And then when the snap happened, I was like, oh, they're going to... Hawkeye's family. That'll be his storyline in the next one. Okay. You know, I just knew they were always going to die. That version of Hawkeye is real cool, though, because they show him, their family being murdered on a video camera. Where he's tied to a chair, and then he's, like, completely naked, because they're like, anything he has on him he can kill us with. So they stripped him naked, strapped him to a chair, and had a video feed live of his family being murdered in front of him. And so he managed to rip his fingernails off and flick them at people's throats to kill them. He killed everyone in the room with his fingernails.
That's disgusting. But beautiful.
And then he managed to cut himself free with, like, his pinky nail, and then escaped and just grabbed guns and just started killing people. He was like, oh my god, Hawkeye's awesome.
That's a bit extreme there.
Terrifying. Awesome.
But yeah, in this movie he becomes Ronin, which is the persona he had in the main Marvel comics after Civil War. After he came back from the dead and wasn't comfortable being Hawkeye again yet, he became Ronin. Because he had a flashback of the first time he met Captain America. And Captain America was like training him. He's like, I don't need training. I never miss. And then, like, Captain America, like, just blam, he's on the ground. Like when I'm done with you, like, arrows are be the thing you're least known for. Like, and so he's learned training to Captain America how to martial arts and how to fight. So he could always do that stuff. He just always relied on arrows. So when he became like a ninja, it's like, yeah, he could always just do that. He's very talented. So I like that. What else? Oh, speaking of Hawkeye too, how they get the Soul Stone. The competition to kill themselves.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that coming from a mile away. I'm like, they're gonna fight to the death to die.
I was thinking they would figure out a loophole.
Yeah, I thought they might just they both might just go down and wake up in the water.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Who are you gonna give it to?
Because yeah,
if they're both willing to die, then they both get it, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought they would do. Nope.
Because like they have what was that? 2014. They have 4 years to figure it out before Thanos gets there.
Yeah.
And then they have a spaceship. So I just because. All right, more comic book time.
I was surprised that Nebula didn't speak up and tell them that that's what had to happen.
How would she know?
She doesn't know. Like they were
because she's the one that said, "Don't you know what Thanos did to you?" Because she was talking to her sister. Like, you want to find out?
Yeah, but why didn't Gamora know?
What do you mean?
Well, Gamora seemed surprised too to learn that you can't get the stone. She's like, "Ha! You can't get it because like this is perfect. Yeah. The universe has judged you. You can't get the stone because you don't love anything." And then he returns to reveal that he loves her.
I think.
Well, apparently he does.
Heavy quotation. It's a toxic love. Yeah, they just said love. They never said love well.
That's true.
Yeah. I think. Well, for one thing, they didn't have 5 years because they kind of already knew. Like, by that time, Thanos finds out. Oh, they're going to Morag for this.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
They don't know that. So they technically didn't have 5 years, but they could. They're like, oh, we got time to.
So there was a comic called Secret Avengers that started out meh, but got real good when Warren Ellis started writing for it. It was just about Captain America's secret covert Avengers team he was sent out on missions. Because S.H.I.E.L.D. was gone, so he just had this various Avenger teams. And on one of their little standalone adventures, they were all about to die. Like, they were all killed. And, like, this mission just starts, like, it's already gone sideways. Mm-hmm. Everyone's dead. Black Widow's the last one standing. And the mission was to find this time machine. And she used the time machine to go back in time. And she goes back and meets her fellow teammate Beast and asks him about, how does time travel work? Like, could you change things? And he was like, well, yes and no. Like, based on what you've told me, the only way you could actually change things, if you do it in a way that no one notices. You have to keep things the same, otherwise paradoxes will form. But if you can find a way to work around what you've seen, then yeah. So she spends like, because in the comics, Black Widow doesn't age. She spends like 10 years traveling around in the past, setting up ways to get around what happened. She saves this brilliant scientist who's supposed to die. She fakes his death. That's why he supposedly died, and has him spend years working on these like special devices. And then she uses the device. She kills him, and then uses the devices to fake their death. Everyone's make it look like they died. And then, like, right after she teleports away, she comes back and defeats the guy and wakes everyone up. But, like, she went through all these, like, things and rounds, and because I think the comic starts her saying, I'm the greatest effing spy in the world. And then he goes to the store and, like, shows, yeah, she is. So I thought they'd do something like that. Because Black Widow's awesome with spy stuff. If she give her enough time, she could probably figure out a way around it. But for her character arc, she always feels like a monster for all horrible stuff she did. She always tries to make up for it, but it's never enough for her, even though the world has forgiven her. Yeah. She still hates herself and everything she did. Yeah. And so killing herself to save Hawkeye's family, the only family she's known before the Avengers, is the only way she can...
Yeah, which is terrible because that's how Hawkeye feels, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, these past 5 years I've not been...
Yeah. But she was like, in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
like the entire, like the first like 20 years of my life, I've been doing that.
Because I wonder, was Hawkeye always? I think they mentioned that Hawkeye wasn't always good, or
he worked for Shield. They're great.
For Shield though.
He was a thief, wasn't he?
In the comics, he was a villain originally, but in the movies, they just said he was a Shield agent.
Yeah, they never gave his backstory.
They never gave his backstory.
They should.
Did they?
They alluded.
They probably will.
They alluded to Hawkeye's villain past in the comics by making him a mind control for Loki in the beginning of the movie, but the actual character history is not explored.
I mean,
I
they
felt
probably
like
touched on
something
in the
That's
like
what I'm thinking.
Black Widow
Probably see
said.
Budapest.
I feel like Black Widow said something about it between them. I don't know. I'm
No, just like
watch.
he's been killing people in the last 5 years doing horrible stuff.
No, not that. I'm talking about way earlier. Like
No, just that he should have killed her, but he made a different call. He recruited her instead, and for that, she's always considered him her best friend, like a brother. She owes him everything.
Which, okay, that's one thing we could kind of talk about. Like some people, people thought there was like a love interest between Black Widow and Hawkeye. I was like, I never felt that. Like
I think in some storylines
before this, like
in the comics and some of the TV shows.
Before you find out he's a.
But in the movies, people thought they were an item up until Hawkeye reveals he has a wife.
Yeah.
And that they know who she is, and she's Aunt Nat to them. And I was like, oh, she's not. Because in Winter Soldier, she has an arrow necklace. People are like, oh, because she loves him and she's holding on to that. But I was like, nope, that's not it. She loves him, but it's not romantic.
You can give friends jewelry, guys.
But yeah, no, I always liked their relationship in the movies because it's nice to see a platonic love story between a man and a woman in these superhero movies. Because they always have like love interest somewhere. I would like to see more conclusion to her and Hulk.
Well, they kind of did conclude
was
it.
that, okay, so
yeah.
Is that the kind of same friendship that Thor and Valkyrie had, or Hulk and Valkyrie had?
They had a kind of love triangle going. That's true.
No.
In Ragnarok.
I always thought it was just like they were really good friends, especially Valkyrie and Hulk.
Hulk, they were good friends.
Really
Banner was like mesmerized by her, and they had the thing where like, I feel like I know you too. Like he might have been falling for her and all that, but it didn't go anywhere with any of them. But it was kind of like a little bit in the room.
Like when he names her queen, when Thor names Valkyrie queen of King. He says
King specifically.
He says King specifically.
Yeah, she's King of Asgard.
King of Asgard. I thought it was like, oh yeah, now you're gonna kiss or something like that. It's like, oh, no, it's just
he leaves. Oop. He's like, I got it. Stop. Time for me to stop trying to be the person I'm supposed to be and be the person I am.
Finally.
Yeah. I mean, he's tried so many times. They keep pulling him back in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Valkyrie's the new king of New Asgard.
How did you feel about Cap being able to pick up the hammer?
Oh man, I marked out so hard. I was like, oh!
When the hammer started moving, I'm like, oh yeah, he's like Thor's gonna use
Yeah,
it to like hit him. That was Cap. I was like,
He's
what?
And he was immediately great with it. Like he threw the shield and the hammer at it, like boom.
And that was like, I knew it.
Yeah, I know, that was amazing.
Uh,
That was another thing. So, me and my friend were discussing this. So, do you think Cap is the one that could call even the Thor axe back?
he did at one point.
Did he?
yeah.
Did he?
Or you just pick it
Does it work like that?
If they fly to them at the same time and they both caught the other one,
Mm-hmm.
and then Thor was like, no, give me that one. You get the
You
small
get the
one.
But no, I thought at another point it looks like he calls the axe, but my friend's like, no, like Thor is controlling it still, but he just.
Okay, guys, we just gotta go and watch it a second time to find out.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, so the thing, the spell Odin put on is only on Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the rules shouldn't apply to Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
But they might anyway, because who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, if you get something to Bifrost, maybe you gotta be worthy to wield it, kind of thing.
That's very true. I still loved it amazingly. That was the coolest.
Yeah. He was summoning lightning, and he was just, oh man, that was so cool. It would have been cooler too if, like, Iron Man, like, because, you know, his suit is like the nanobots. If he just, like, I was waiting for him to, like, throw a thing onto Cap and would form.
Oh, yeah.
So you have the suit, the shield, and the hammer all at once. That would have been cool. But, just the hammer's fine.
Yeah.
And then everyone working together. A-Force formed at one point during the battle, which is great. I love A-Force.
Lightning. Oh, that's
A-Force is the all-female Avengers team.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought it was the three Avengers.
No, that's the Trinity.
Okay, so yeah.
Because DC kind of coined the Trinity with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Marvel's Trinity has always been Cap, Iron Man, and Thor, who are all at the time like B-list heroes. But they were like the most important Marvel characters. But everyone liked Wolverine and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But now, with all these movies, they are more popular and all that. So, yeah, the Trinity were together again.
The A-Force was pretty cool. Badass.
Yeah, all the ladies protecting the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Spider-Man protecting the gauntlet.
Activate
insta-kill mode! Like, we gotta see it! And there's no moral issues because they're mindless rage monsters. Yeah.
I like how he was Spider-Man was just mesmerized by Captain Marvel. Just that one part, he's like,
Here you go.
Yeah. And what were the armies? We got Wakanda, the Sorcerers,
I think they were
Asgard.
Yeah.
Weren't they wiped out by
No,
Thanos? Or
I mean, yes and no.
the spaceship? I don't know
I
what
mean, that was a part of
Asgardians were dwindled really far down because of Hela.
Yeah.
And then he made it to the ship. And then Thanos got to the ship and let half of them go on escape pods and blew up the ship with the rest on it. And then he snapped so that half of them died. Again.
Yeah, so really they're down to a quarter.
So there were so few Asgardians left. That's one reason why Thor was so distraught. There's they have that little town. That's it. But everyone who got snapped came back. So that undoes one halving. Like they were whatever was survived Hela got fourthed. But now they're back to half of what they were after Hela. And they went to battle everyone else. Those are the only armies, right? Sorcerers,
Wakanda.
Asgardians, and Wakandans. There was no Atlanteans or
I'm really surprised.
alien armies.
Nothing. Yeah, like Captain Marvel didn't.
The Skrulls come back, maybe.
I don't know how, on what terms she is with the Nova Corps.
Oh yeah, we have no idea what Xander's like now. That after Thanos decimated it and then snapped it, we have no idea where they're at.
Yeah.
Maybe there's only one left, and he's from Earth originally.
Maybe. certain helmet.
Nova.
Anyway.
Yeah. Cool if they did a Nova movie. What else is there to say?
And he's a kid.
I totally forgot Thor. He's like he's now what's the word, monochromatic?
Yeah.
I totally forgot. And I saw him like, what's wrong with his eye? I'm
Yeah, he's
like,
got the David Bowie thing going.
oh yeah.
His one eye's fake. Yeah, his mom knew immediately. He's like, "You're not. You're from the future." Because she was raised by witches, and they're like, "Okay, sure."
She could have just said, I'm your mother. Don't act stupid.
It was also crazy that like the movies they chose, they went back in time for. Avengers, huge thing, like changed movie history forever. Guardians, beloved movie, everyone loves that movie. Thor 2.
That's just where
Also a Marvel movie. I was like, why didn't they wait till like the Collector had it? Why did they have to extract it from Natalie Portman?
I don't think they even knew the Collector. They didn't even know. Well,
Yeah, Thor said it's with the Collector in Infinity War. He told that's how the Guardians knew to go to nowhere.
True. Oh, I
It's
guess
like,
maybe
only an
waiting
idiot would
for-
leave with the Collector or a genius. Yeah. So why didn't they wait? Why did they travel to nowhere in the past and get it? Why did they have to tangle with Natalie Portman?
I think
Did
that
they just want Natalie Portman in the movie?
it's possible.
Because she wasn't actually there.
Well, I think
It could have just been the most easiest.
They reused footage that got cut from the Dark World.
it could have been easier to go to Asgard than to go
To nowhere?
to nowhere, because it's, I mean, space, wherever, distance doesn't matter, but
Yeah,
that's a
but Thor.
safe place to go.
I mean, it's less risk of altering their personal history.
And it's more easier to get from somebody you know.
Well, then why didn't he intercept Sif and Hogarth? No. The fat warrior 3.
Yeah. Well, I
They
think
probably
it's-
just wanted to
yeah.
give him some time with his mom.
Yeah, and that's the real reason, but I mean, like, story-wise, why would they risk...
Also, Thor is the one that's telling them the best time to go back. So
True.
probably
He probably
that's what
didn't
wanted
mention
to go.
that,
He
yeah.
wanted- yeah.
But he also remembered while he was there, today's the day my mom dies.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, that's what it is.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
with everything going on, he,
more is
like,
for-
kept that separate probably in his mind. Yeah. Yeah. What'd you think about Tony's family? His daughter and the little home they had together.
I thought that was cute.
She loves
Tony
him
would
3,000.
Yeah.
She found the helmet he was making for her mom. And she had like a little glove, like,
Yeah. So, okay, when Pepper shows up in the suit, I totally didn't recognize that as her. I was like, who's that? Like,
I was
getting
quick
confused.
like, oh, that's the helmet. She got the suit that he made. Cool.
She actually wore it. That's what my thought was.
I just didn't notice the face, like, for a second. I was like, trying to think, who's that? Like,
You need the hair to...
I do need the hair. Like, it's for me, but
Yeah.
I got it later.
Yeah. The scene when he invents time travel, and it's just like, shit.
Oh yeah. Yes.
His kid. Shit.
Yeah, I could just.
Like, you can't say that word. That's your mommy's word. She coined it.
She coined it.
And she's like, what are you doing? He's like, or you're up. You're doing stuff. Like, I got shit to do.
Can't use it. That's mommy's word.
Yeah. Just
I love how the look she gives him. Like,
I mean, Tony Stark, the character, really changed in the last few years
Yeah.
of this universe because of everything that happened. Losing everyone and gaining a daughter changed him for the better. I like that when he was happy to see everyone, including Cap. He was like, "I'm genuinely happy to see you guys. You're welcome to stay for lunch as long as we don't talk shop."
yeah. Everyone leaves.
Yeah, they leave. Like, it's too important. And then then they meet the professor.
Oh yeah, that was. Which I do like. I do like how they didn't just go like, oh, just because someone's a scientist and have a doctorate means they know everything about anything science. He's like, not like me. Like, I do gamma radiation, that kind of stuff. Like, guess I kind of take a crack at time travel. And, I mean, he does stuff.
It's like,
but...
that's not up my alley, guys.
Yeah.
What was he saying? He's saying, he said something. They said, "Oh, he's joking." And he's like, "We're joking, right?" I don't know. Like, this is time travel. Either all of it's a joke or none of it is. We're good. And he turns into a baby. Yeah.
I don't know who pooped. Maybe me, old me, or now me.
And it's funny because we see the progression of like smart people. Like Scott Lang is not like an idiot. He like knows things about like
He's a master's in electric engineering.
Yeah. He's not small time idiot, but like compared to everybody else in this movie.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
he picked up that it's possible. What he just went through proves that whatever is happening is possible. He doesn't understand how to make it happen.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't understand pin particles, but like he knows what they can and can't do.
Yeah.
The whole 1970s section where we see a young Michael Douglas is like a teenager almost.
Yeah.
And the old Ant-Man helmet.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
And then Howard Stark. So, the actor who plays old Howard, is that what he looked like when he was younger, or did they just kind of combine the faces of the two actors? I couldn't tell.
No, I thought they used. So the actor that they decided to use as Tony's dad in like the first movies is the one that they put in this one.
Yeah.
But in other ones,
it's
someone else, and they don't look similar. That's the issue.
Yeah, one's a lot tanner and a little rounder face. The other one has like a long.
Yeah.
Face. So I was like, I don't remember, and I was at a weird angle, so I couldn't tell. Like, did they like make his head a little shorter?
They might have.
When they were CGI, or did he just make him look like himself but young? I don't know. Speaking of special effects, so I didn't think it, but a lot of people are saying that old Captain America looked like Joe Biden. So I'm like, I guess?
I can kind of see that.
Do people just put like old white people together? Their old white people.
They all look alike, right? In my experience,
he's got wrinkles.
Well, I was thinking they probably like used a picture of Chris Evans' grandfather as reference or something, and like
could be.
That's assuming they CGI.
I want to say that
it's a combination of makeup and CGI.
I thought it was mostly makeup.
Probably, but I think they enhanced it with CGI.
I want to say because in like the comics when like old Cap, like I want to say that they kind of looked at that and scaled it back a little bit from there. I think that's where they started with that medium. So I like to think, but they could just be like, no, let's go for the real thing. Chris Evans' grandfather could have done that.
But yeah, Sam is the new Captain America.
Yes. So
which answers the question because everyone's like, is it gonna be Bucky? Is it gonna be Sam? Is it gonna be someone different?
It's like it's gonna be Punisher. I'm just kidding. Comic joke. I was honestly, as much as I love Sam, I thought it was gonna be Bucky.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Falcon, they finally gave him a new move. Because like usually his move is like he comes in, shrinks his wings in and does a drop kick, and that's like his move, and then he flies back out. He actually stabs somebody with his wings. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
That was fun. It was like this.
I was like, I was happy about that.
I was like, cool. Damn.
Straight through the portal too, like.
So where do we think Marvel's gonna go from here? They've already said that they already have like the next 5 years planned out, and it does not involve any of the new Fox properties.
Oh.
So no Fantastic Four, no X-Men for like 5 years. But I mean, we got the new Cap, we got Spider-Man, we got.
So yeah, Spider-Man would be illogical.
Maybe
they would have to do the new Cap
movie. I'm hoping. I mean, that's just my hope, is that they do Sinister Six, because that was like something I was hoping for. But then they have to build up a bunch of villains.
Well, there were 6 villains in Homecoming,
and they did kind of talk about like, hey, there's a lot of people that really want to hurt, Spider-Man.
Yeah, true.
So it's possible, or maybe it's just them messing with us again. Sorry, raise my voice a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's a possible route for at least the Spider-Man series. In terms of big stories, are you saying?
Yeah, like they're gonna slowly build up to another big villain again. Who do you think it's gonna be?
They said in 5 years they could build. I know, like not Fantastic Four for like a while, but they could build up to the Galactus. That's another huge villain.
Well, I was thinking Doctor Doom.
They could.
Because Galactus isn't really a villain. He's just an event. He's a thing that happens.
It's Thanos' destiny. But yeah, that's true. Doctor Doom would be more grounded.
I don't know if ground is the right word, but yeah, kind of.
Hence the quotation marks.
I would love if the big build-up was Doctor Doom doing stuff and it resulted in Secret Wars. Probably the more recent Secret Wars that involves the parallel universe stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then I wouldn't be opposed to them just grabbing random planets.
They could do some multiverse stuff. It's not. I think they've like hinted at enough that there are other paths and other multi-universes out there. I think they've kind of hinted.
On Disney Plus, they're doing an animated What If show.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah. And of course, the other live-action shows, Winter Soldier and Falcon is a show. WandaVision is a show. Loki.
They haven't gone underwater yet, so.
No.
What's
Namor, I believe,
Namor,
is
yeah.
owned by Universal.
Marvel, just stop selling off stuff.
They did. Well, yeah, as soon as Disney bought it, they stopped. I mean, they only don't have the movie rights. They could do a TV show and say it's canon, but they can't do a movie. It's a little different than the Hulk. Whereas Universal owns the distribution rights for Hulk movies, they don't own the character. Which is how Hulk can be in other movies and not be a problem, but if he's in the title, it's a problem. So we'll probably never get a She-Hulk movie, but She-Hulk could show up in an A-Force movie, which I would like.
I mean, they probably could. They just couldn't put it in the title, right?
Yeah, as long as it's not She-Hulk and her amazing friends. But yeah, no, Marvel owns all the Hulk characters. They just don't own the movie. Tries real hard for them to get it in this box set. They had to pay Universal a lot of money to let them do it.
I'm really trying to think of what other villains they would like want to
Big
tackle.
event villains are Doctor Doom, Galactus, Annihilus, Ultron again.
What was Odin's brother's name?
Odin's brother?
Yeah.
Oh, the god of fear?
Yeah. He's one of the ones that like he literally snapped Captain America's shield.
Yeah, I didn't read that, so I don't know. I only read comics that are happening around the same time. I know a bunch of people got hammers and became possessed by Asgardians.
Yeah.
I didn't like that story too much. But yeah, Odin had a brother that he erased from history. He also has a daughter that he erased from history.
Well, she came back, so.
Yes. Well, in the movie it was Hela, but in the comics it's Angela.
Oh, okay.
Who was originally a Spawn character. That's a fun story. But anyway, not for this video. Alright, any closing thoughts about this movie? We're pretty erratic in our discussion.
Yeah.
Definitely put on comments.
Yeah.
Think we missed anything?
I wish
America's ass.
I like
Yeah.
that they started the Marvel series with Iron Man, and that they ended it with Iron Man.
Yeah, his last words were, "I am Iron Man." The recording doesn't count, I guess. And at the very, very end, after credits, during the logo, you can hear metal being hit with a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the first Iron Man movie. Hinting that either remember our past, or maybe there's another Iron Man coming. Maybe Ironheart is coming. Or hologram Tony.
Oh yeah.
That's what I thought they were going to do. I thought he was going to come back as a hologram in the next Spider-Man movie. but it's Nick Fury.
You know, that should have been some type of hint.
Also, what
That-
happened to... Because Nick Fury was with Maria Hill when the thing snapped.
Mhm.
And it's just Nick Fury. And I'm like, where's Maria?
Maybe she wasn't at the
She's
funeral. Like,
I know, but still.
Oh, the kid from Iron Man 3 was at the funeral.
Was he?
Yeah.
oh, that's who that kid was.
I was like, who's that kid? Is it Hawkeye's oldest son standing apart from his family? And then I looked it up and goes, no, it's the kid from Iron Man 3.
Oh.
Grown up.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah. Well.
That makes that scene even sadder.
Oh, yes, and then the cheeseburgers.
Yeah. I really have to watch it again.
Because Iron Man asked for cheeseburgers when he got back from being tortured.
Yes.
I want cheeseburger.
So I want stop for cheeseburger. We're going to a press conference. Cheeseburgers first. Yeah, people point out a lot of things he says in that little thing comes into play in this movie, which is him talking about he never got to say goodbye to his dad, and how he loves cheeseburgers.
Mm-hmm.
That all comes in. And Jon Favreau, the director of the first Marvel movie, is there at the end at the funeral. He's happy.
Oh.
He directed the first two
directed
Iron-
the first.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He also directed Lion King and Jungle Book
Well, damn.
and Tomorrowland. Was that him? I don't think that was him. He did a movie about a food truck.
Ah.
He was also dated Monica on Friends.
What?
He played a rich guy.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, he
I was
didn't really date
I was
her.
like, whoa.
It's a
whoa.
movie. His character did. Anyway, Jon Favreau was great. He stars in the Marvel Universe, technically. And he was there at the funeral at the end, which was nice. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Oh! Wong was invited to the wedding,
Oh, yeah.
but he went to the funeral.
Oh. Another sad thing that I felt. I reckon I was like, oh, Wong's here. I didn't think about it.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
Ugh.
Profound sadness.
Profound.